No, the thing I was trying to explain about the project is that what we want to do is to get your experiences
Oh, I can
of the
understand
things
all that.
you did,
Yes.
yeah, and
Yes.
then help children to have that information and to understand what people did, and be able to get them to kind of try out different things that you might have done. You know, the codes, the secret sort of
I know,
messages.
but it's
They'll
something.
find that quite exciting.
Well, I find that very difficult to talk about because we were not allowed to talk about it for 30 years after the end of the war.
Of course.
So 6 years during the war plus 30 years after.
Mhm.
And you just forgot it. You just knew you mustn't, and you didn't.
Mhm.
You know, in those days you did as you were told, and that was it. And you wouldn't dare say anything about it. I used to, on one occasion, I had an interview with a gentleman in the Air Force, just as I was taking my 6 months course, the end of the 6 months course, and he had a gun on the table, a revolver, and he said, "If you dare say a word to anybody, even the person who sits next to you," he said, "I will shoot you." Just like that. He was just trying to be, to frighten people.
I was saying that we're going to go into some schools
Yes,
and
you-
talk to some children about how they might use codes.
They said that I've always had all my life very tiresome feet which don't work properly, and so they said that I couldn't join because of my feet. But I think there was an underlying cause, and that was I had a German name. My name happened to be German. I was interviewed by a very young officer, and he said to me, "There's just this question of your name." And I said, "Well, yes, but my family have been here for generations after generations." And they said, "What about your father?" I said, "Well, my father fought in the last war, and he's fighting in this war." And this young man looked at me, and the only time in my life that I had the absolute answer, and I said to him, "My father won the Military Cross in the First World War, and I understand that is only awarded in the British Army."
In '44, I was stationed at the Needles radar station, which only did shipping. And I was on leave on BE Day, and I got a telegram, if you can remember what things were, telegrams, and I got a telegram saying, "We're shut. Have some more leave, we'll think of what to do with you afterwards." Because radar operators were, not needed anymore, because we did shipping. And in actual fact, if you go up to the Tennyson Monument and go on towards the Needles, and you come to a fence, and you have to veer to the left to go over the stile, if you look to the right, there's a hole in the ground. and you go down some steps, and that's where I spent many hours in the ops room.
You know, the Jackal that we were travelling around with basically replaced the Land Rovers, and they were, you know, they were a good bit of kit, but you know, you're torn between wearing your harness, which you're supposed to do, and not being able to move. So if you are shot at, you've got to first take your harness off before you can return any rounds. But obviously the whole idea of the harness is if you go over an IED, then you're strapped in, you're not going to get thrown out of the vehicle. But then because the vehicles have no tops, you know, like I said, if you're getting shot at, then literally your head is above, you know, where people are going to be aiming at. So yeah, sort of I went through so many stages. Like when I first got out there, I was strapping in and whatever else, and then I say we drove past a few sort of IEDs. One of the vehicles went over an IED, but we were just really lucky it didn't fully detonate. So after that I was like, well, do I want to or do I not want to? Because again, being a medic, if a vehicle gets blown up and there's casualties, and I'm going to need to get out of the vehicle pretty quick as well. My old man did this, gave me an old cigarette tin. And obviously we didn't know where I was going or anything.
Yeah.
So and then they sort of put magnets on there and sent me some magnetic pictures and stuff, so that I could obviously just sit there and go through my tin and have a look at some of the photos and whatever else of me and the kids. So yeah, that's obviously then something that I'd have been able to take wherever should I've needed to. So yeah, it was quite nice. But yeah, photos and even the missus giving a spray of perfume into the box before she sends it out and all that sort of stuff. 90% of your time is actually boredom, really. There's only 10% that's actually excitement when you're out sort of on tour. Yeah, sort of my experience, I suppose. You know, you sign up to. Well, I signed up to go to war because, you know, we were at war in Afghanistan and Iraq at the time. So yeah, I signed up to go and do my bit, as it were. And then, you know, it's almost like, you know, you sign up to do this dream, you go and do the dream, and then you come back, and once you've lived that, it's hard to sort of come back and still feel a worth, because you're not living that dream anymore. You know, you're sort of in limbo, really, aren't you, when you come back? 1 minute I was on the front line in Afghanistan, and then I say 36, 48 hours later I'm back in my family home. You know, I've got a screaming 18-month old. He wasn't too sure who I was, because he'd not seen me for ages, and obviously I've got the wife. I've been away for 6 months. She's totally changed. You know, her hair's changed. The house has changed. You know, like when you go out, you kind of expect it all to have stayed the same when you come back, but it's not. Obviously, it's not going to. It's going to change, isn't it?